Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This shir should be a special schus l'nishmas Rav Yoel ben Rabbi Yonah and l'schus or for Shleima for David Henach Mordechai ben Frida Simcha, and also for Saraleya bas Rivka. We're going to be discussing the end of Kinyan Derabanan, if it's effective for a Daraisa, based on a shir given by a Gaon Rav Ariab Ozer Shlita, the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivas Itri. In Sukkot Menvavam at Beis, Reb Zera says that a person shouldn't be makne his Arba Minim to a child on the first day of Sukkot. Why, says the Gemara? Because a child can be kona, but he can't be makne back. He can acquire, but you can't acquire it back from him. And therefore this guy who gives his lulav esrog to the child is going to be yotzei with the lulav that's not his. You can't do it. First be yotzei yourself, and then you can give it. But don't give it to him before you're yotzei. Otherwise, it's not yours. You need lachem. The opinion of the Ritva and the Ran is that we're talking about a cotton shalo higia laonas hapeutos. We're talking about a cotton that has not yet reached the age of a cotton, a young cotton, who can make a mechira b'metaltel midrabanan, like we learned in the Mishnah in Gittin, a 6-7-year-old child. We're talking about before that. But when they reach the age of 6-7, onas haputos, shapir dami, it's very good because they could be makne to the gadol with respect to the din lachem deoraisa. So even though they themselves are only makne to derabanan, but their hakna derabanan works that the gadol could be yotzei deoraisa if they've reached the stage of onas haputos. The Rambam writes, however, in Lulav Perek Ches halacha yud, ein nosnos l'kotn shakotn konev eino makne la'acherim min haTorah v'nimsa shimech zira lo eino choizer. Don't give it to a cotton because the cotton's kohen is not makne min haTorah. So if you give it to him, he can't give it back. So the Rambam learns that even a cotton who's akna is a good akna min midrabanan does help nisht. It doesn't help klape the mitzvah d'iraisa, like the Lechem Mishnah's Omei there. So if Machokas Rishonim, if this Kinyan of the cotton, it works on a d'iraisa level. The akna of a cotton works on a d'iraisa level. So from here, Rabbi Ephraim Navon, the author of the Machane Ephraim, Kinyan Meshicha, Siman Beis, writes that L'shitas HaRambam, we see Yesod that Kinyan Derabanan is not effective for Dinei d'iraisa. And if a person's mekadesh an isha with an object that he was kona midrabanan, she's not mikudeshes midairaisa. And he showed that there's a machlokas rishonim in a number of places, and he concludes, "Ulefiza nira demashenoigim ha'idna shekoinim esrog lemitzvah vehadamim porim la'achar hachag." Today, what people are knowing that they buy an esrog for a mitzvah and then they pay the money after Yantiv. Give me a hamburger. I'll pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today, like they used to say in the cartoon, lahavdil. So here it's give me lahavdil. I'll pay you next Tuesday, and a week from Tuesday for a lulav today. So he says nishgit. Why? Delav yos avdin. It's not good. The kol kamish lo nosen es adomim lo kano zel midrabanan. As long as he hasn't paid, it's only a kinyan derabanan, and we need lachem mishelachem d'iraisa, because according to the Rambam, we need a Kinyan d'iraisa. The Kinyan d'Rabban is not good enough of Meshicha, so you need to have the actual Kinyan Mammon that the guy should Dvar Torah Mos Konos. It's Rov Poskim, Halacha Rabbi Yochanan, Dvar Torah Mos Konos, not Meshicha. Rashi learns not like that. Rashi passes like Reish Lakish, that Meshicha Konim Tatel Me'at Torah V'lo Kesef. Rashi B'choritz Gimel Mit Beis. Elsewhere. But according to what most poskim say, it's no good if the person if the person makes a kinyan derabanan from the cotton, it's going to be no good because kinyan derabanan is ineffective for the din deraisa of lachem mishelachem. And this is brought in Mishnah Berurah and Tafresh Nun Ches if cotton yud, that it's good to be careful to be pareh the most before the chag kadei liknas minim deraisa. In order to be by the minim deraisa, you should pay it before. Unless you bring it home, and then you're kona midaraisa mitaras chotzer. However, the number of kashas here, minig Yisrael b'dochkom ba'artzos pezureim, in the olden days, only yechidim would be kind of the minim. Robat Sibur would take the Minim in Shul or in the base Bailim, in the home of the owner. No Kinyan Kesef, no Kinyan Chotzer. So what were they? Somechan. And they were in Choshesh Filodas HaOmrim that Kinyan Derabanan is not effective for a Kinyan Deraisa. Another Kasha asked for the Ma'aser Rabban Gamliel and Zakainim Sheipoim B'Sfina, and all Rabban Gamliel had, or the only one who had the was Rabban Gamliel, and they bought a bale of Zuz. That the Rabban Gamliel bought it bale of Zuz, and then he gave it b'matana to Rabbi Yoshua, and he was Yotzei, and he gave it to Elazar ben Azariah and Sigma from Beis. So how are they kohen? He bought it very good. Mitasach gelt. But how are they kohen? If not behagbah, she kinyan derabanan. So divrei atesvis, but Zara and Aleph from it, Aleph, Ein Beis and Aleph. That only b'mechira Rabbi Yochanan says that you have to be kohen b'kesef. Of matana mitzia, that there's no money involved. Meshicha or agbah is kohen min haTorah. So there it's not shver, because here we're talking about a matana. But Ein Kain Das Haramban Ve'aritva V'od Rishon and Lain Shitim Kubetzis Bab Metzia Mem Zayin Amid Beis. The Tagbah remains a Kinyan Derabanan even if it's a matana. So according to the Machan Ephraim, we have to learn, in that case of Rabban Gamliel, that they were kind of the lulav behachnasa l'reshusam. In other words, they were soicher. They rented a place in the Sfina, and that made it their reshus. They brought it into their reshus. And then it became there. Yen bagos ben amachan Ephraim sham. So that's how they were konim midaraisa, by being socher makom. But it's still shver. The kash the Birkei Yosef brought in the Sharei Tshuva in Tafresh Nun Ches. Also by Elchonon in the Ber Yitzchak. From an often a Mishnah and Sukkah and Beis Amid Beis that Yom Rishon Chag Shchoyos b'Shabbos. Molichem esulavim laharabayis v'chazanim akablim yem ulad v'salomar kol mi shemagia lulav ili yadoi harei ulav b'matana. That in the first day of Yontif that fell out on Shabbos, they would bring their lulavim to harabayis. Chazanim were makabel, and they used to say, "Whoever gets my lulav, it's his b'matana." So there's no mos, there's no kinyan chotzer. So how are they kohen midaraisa? In the Hashmatos at the end of the Machan Ephraim, it's brought from the Bana Mechaber that if somebody takes it in his hand, he's mechabin l'knoso, everybody's mode is kohen minator raya l'dover, that chotzer is kohen minator and chotzer is mishum yad. Ayin bav mitzia yid amid beis. But he said that from what my father said, it seems not like that, because he says that you need matan mos. So apparently it's not enough to make the kinyan biyad. Ad kan dvar v'aktzarim, but we see like this in Tosing Subis Lamed Aleph Amid Aleph Divrei Maschil Dei Shanoisein Davar b'soich piv oy b'soich yado l'tzorich kinyan kinoi midaraisa. Put it in his mouth and his hand l'tzorich kinyan. He's kinoi midaraisa namitan agba ela mishum kinyan yad. And so it appears from Tosim Bava Kama Chav Tes Amid Beis Divrei Maschil Ela that if a person was hoifech b'yado golol feces that's munach b'rshus harabim, he's kind of b'soich yadoi, and then when he puts it back down, he's considered the Baal Abor, even though he wasn't actually magbiyah min hakarka, he was just hoifich biyado, didn't actually lift it off the ground, but the very fact that it was in his hand makes it a kinyan. So he sees a kinyan yad. Just Rashi and Ksubis and Bava Kama, it appears from him that it's Midin Hagbah. He holds there's no Kinyan Daraisa. He holds that it was actually Magbiyat. But Tosas asks in Ksubis, from the Sinas Haget, it says V'nasam biyada. It's mashma that it's hers, even if her hand isn't raised. So you see, there is a Kinyan Yad. But that's Rashi, we can say, like Shita Mukubetza says, that you don't learn from Gidin, Ladarkei HaKniyos. Gidin is a different word from other Kinyanim. And that's Shitas Rashi, Mefursam, that L'sinas Haget, it's enough ben Asina Li'isha, Af Below Ma'isa Kinyan. Look in Gidin Ayin Ches, Zori Get Li'isha B'Shis HaRabim, and the get was closer to her than it is to him. She's Meguresh Min HaTorah, even if she's more than Arba Amas away from the get, as long as she could guard the get, because he holds that Mishtamar L'Dait is enough. like the Rid writes there. So's Das Rashi B'kam Mekaimus. So there's no raya from the pasuk V'nosam B'yada that Yada Shaladim Kono Lo Me'at Torah below Hakba, because Rashi holds that you don't actually have to have it in your hand. Nasam B'yada is not Mamish B'yada. As long as Mishtamer Middle Daito, that's fine. So Gidden is a different vort in Kinyanim than other things, according to Rashi. According to Rashi, just the fact that you can watch the closer to you, just the fact that you can watch it is enough. So don't bring me a raya that, all right, you're not raising your hand. How she kon it? Because there you don't actually have to make a proper Kinyan like other things. Other Rishonim hold you do have to make a Kinyan. In the Sefer Nagil V'Nismacha, there's a beautiful arichos in this. Other Sfarim as well, many Sfarim. However, Lafi Divrei HaGemara and Rashi, at the end of the sugya there, it seems Rashi agrees that there's a Yad D'Oraisa. There's a Kinyan Yad, and it's not Mishum Hagba, Ayin Sham B'Gemara, and also in the Imrei Bina, in Dinei Kinyanim, in Siman Vav, based on the Sugya Bav Mitzvah Yud Aleph, they would learn Mitzvah Miget. So how can you say Get is different? You learn Mitzvah from Get. Akol Panim, we have a lot of sources that say that there is such a thing as a Kinyan Yad, and that's D'Oraisa. We have a Minchas Chinuch and Shin Lamed Vav Tes, a Divrei Chaim and Dina Matana Siman Yud. They're machriach that Mahani Kinyan Yad D'Oraisa, the Kinyan Yad, just putting it to your hand, is good enough D'Oraisa. And when a person sells something and he takes the money in his hand, how's that Kinyan effective? How's he kind of the kesef? Without lifting it up? The answer is Bipshuto, it's a Kinyan Yad, that's how the Mocher is kind of the kesef. We can explain the essence of this Kinyan that's Mol D'Oraisa based on the Chasim Sofer and its Shuvan Yordei Siman Shin Yud, that before Man Torah the Kinyan was Chal Al Yidei Shlita Mitziutit B'Chefetz, just the fact that you have control over this object, that you can bring it into your house. And the explanation is based on the Yesod of Reb Shimon that the Mahus of Bailus and Mammon, the essence of owning prop money and other things, is the Shlita B'Chefetz, the fact that you're in control of this object. And therefore, if something is Ovid Mimenu Mikol Adam, it's not his anymore. It's Hefker. Kol Mishakadam V'Zacha Bo Zacha. It's not only Al Tziyeush. It's because you can't have Bailus without Shlita. And this was washed away by the water. Guy doesn't have Shlita over it anymore. He has no control. It's not his. We can also prove that it's not Midin Yeush from the Chulin Kuf Lamites. Tarnagol Shel Hekdesh Shebarcha Yatza L'Chulin. Tarnagol Shel Hekdesh that ran away is Chulin. How can that be? It's not Shaykh Yeush Bailim. The answer is Ibud Shlita, losing control over the Chayfetz. It seems there from Rashi that it is Midin Yeush. You can explain it otherwise. Ain't Kan Makomo. And if the chayfetz goes out of a person's shlita b'ofen chelki, so he loses some of his bailus. There's a pagam in his bailus. It's begeder eino reshusa eino b'reshuso. Like it's a chayfetz gazul. If it's stolen, so he didn't lose it completely because it's supposed to return back to him. But sof right now he doesn't have control over it. So he can't be makdish, he can't be moicher because he doesn't have bailus gemura. Even without the kinyanim of Furashim Batorah, if a person is toifes biyado davar al pidin, v'daito l'knoso, it becomes his, because now we show it ala chayvet shlita mitziyutit. and he has the rishus and the yecholas lasas bo kechevtzel. Just the ma'aseh kinyan shenischadshu b'Torah v'shetiknu chachamim. Their inyan is that even a symbolic act of showing bailus without shlita mitziyutit, without practical control over the object, is ma'ol kinyan. Like kinyan meshicha, b'sfino, b'behema, even if he's not mamish shoyleit, b'mitzias. Afilu korei lavi ba, he calls and it comes. He's koned in meshicha. So that's the yesod of kinyan yad, because there's nothing more b'shlita of a person, nothing more control of a person than his hand or its mouth. And if you're going to say, then if yad is mol daraisa, so what's the whole din of Arba? He was already koned daraisa before he lifted up mitam yad. See, Achronim say in the Sivas HaMishpat Kuf Peiches Siv Kanal Veld, they were metaking Arba even if the chavetz is not in his hand. For example, if he was magbiat b'kocho with his strength, but it's not actually in his hand, b'makel with some sort of walking stick. So that's where it's not actually in your hand. Those type of Agbas, but if it's in your hand, it's Seder Gamor. So the explanation of the Das Machaneh Ephraim and the poskim that go in his path, that don't accept this, and they say you need Nesinas Mos, it's because they hold that you can't be called to the Minim Kinyan Yad, and maybe their reason is, like the Nesivus writes in Kuf Tzadi Ches Sif Katan Gimel, Reis Sam Ches Sif Katan Beis, She'ein Kona Mishum Yad, Ella, K'sha'chefetz Kulo B'Seich Yodo, it has to be completely in your hand. But if it's going out on the sides, if it's jutting out, you're not Kona. Kedin Chotzer, that if you have Kinyan Chotzer, the Chefetz, the object, has to be completely in the Chotzer. If it goes out, no Kinyan. So if it's coming out of his hand, he's not completely in his hand, and wrapped by his hand, so then you have to come on to Arba. 3 tefachim or a tefach, whatever you hold. And that's how a number of Gedolei Rabbeinu Achronim are choishesh for this din, that a get should be kula b'seich yada, the makne and kedushin chof vav, Rikiv Eger and Shuvas, Reish chof beis and chof gimel v'od. Also brought in the Bir Allah and Ilchas Erevin, Shin Samach Vav Tes. So that would apparently be the Das Machaneh Ephraim. So he says din yad doesn't work because the lulav is not completely in your hand. Part of it is in your hand, most of it is out of your hand. But this chiddush is not so pashut, because why isn't it mentioned in the Gemara, Chol HaPoskim HaRishonim, that the get should be completely biyad ha'isha v'lo yotzei achutza? So the Ramah brings in Even Ezer Kuf Lamed Vav a minhag to fold up the get, but we don't find in the other poskim to be makbid midina. The Nesivus goes l'shitasa b'Torah's gittin in Kuf Lamed Tes Vav. He says you should be makbid. But from the Rishonim, you see, they don't hold this way. Just we have in our generation, we have the Kitzer Hilchos, Miriya Zaken, Shebesof Sefer Toschach Me'amli Anglia Begitten, who says that you should fold it up. So it would appear from the Rav Yan, Taf Tzadi Dalet. But B'chol Shar Rishonim, we don't find like this. And from their shtika, we see that a woman is kona the get, even if it's not completely in her hand. So too says the Even Ezel at the beginning of Chosnis came on Divrei Tosim Bavakam Tes, that Bekinyan Yad, it doesn't have to be completely in your hand. And also we see in the Mishnah in Sukkah, Chazanim will give the Lulav the Mikdash, the Kol Ha'am, and they say whoever gets it, it's his. So it's Muchach that this Kinyan helps, even though the Minim are not completely in the person's hand. Like the Ber Yitzchak proves in Yoredeh Sof Siman Chav Gimel. And also mitzad the svar that we said. The svar that we said, that as long as you have shlita, as long as you're in control. So mali chelik b'soch yado, mali kula b'soch yado. It's all the same. So it doesn't need to be completely in your hand. So, Mirza Shem, Siyata Dishmaya, we have a little bit of work ahead of us to understand Kinyanim and the Din Lachem and Sukkis, the Arba Minim, and that is B'Siyata Dishmaya B'li Neder, our avoda for the next shir, Shpizocha lilmod ulelamed lishmor velasos ulekayim es kol divrei Sam Torah behava. Amen v'amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.